How the devil are you guys? It is Robidon, and I'm here to talk about Fallout 76. Bethesda's E3 conference is over, and we have some meat for our meal. Yes, we can finally analyze Fallout 76 with more than just leaks and a please stand by teaser trailer. So let's get to it. Well, first up, let's get what the long-term single-player hardcore Fallout fanbase would consider the bad news out of the way. It is completely and entirely online and multiplayer.
When the fighting is stopped and the fallout is settled, you must
Right, however, we have the fact that it has been described as a multiplayer game, not an MMO. Dozens, not hundreds or thousands of real players. So yes, all the players are real human people. I'm just listing off things here. No NPCs, everybody you see is human only at the other end of the internet. Solo play, not single player. The term used was solo play. We can play this game on our own and do the quests however they're set up, which I will go into later. As a single player, but not a single player mode. So yes, we can solo it. The world itself is going to be an open world, softcore survival. And you get a quest from the Overseer to go through 6 zones on whatever this quest turns out to be, because we haven't got any more details. Then you get a quest from the Overseer that takes you through 6 zones, which does lead to the big question: what's the Overseer? Is the Overseer an NPC, or is it an AI or a robot? I mean, every humanoid character in the game is supposed to be a real person at the end of the internet somewhere. So is the Overseer an NPC in a tutorial level before we get to the dedicated server part of the game where we never see anybody but a real person again? Obviously, critters, including humanoid ones, are just enemies for us all to shoot. So that does beg the question, what happened to all the non-feral ghouls? Where are they? If we're all going to be humans from Vault 76 because it's the first time it's opened. Interesting. Are they retconning the law? Do you only become a ghoul if you've been exposed to lower levels of radiation and not the immediately high levels just after the war? That kind of goes against some of the stories in Underworld, but hey ho. Right, what else is there on the list of things listed off to us? There is the 4 times bigger world, bigger than Fallout 4, with 16 times the detail because of the way they've tweaked the engine, which means that we can now see weather from across the map. So there you go. Instead of just saying I like that mountain and I'm going to go and climb it, we can now go, oh, I like the sunshine over there, I'm going to go and sunbathe. And lastly, there's the whole 100% dedicated servers, but we will never notice we're actually on a server. Okay, go into that again later too. So yeah, that's pretty much the main list of the details we were given. Next up, I'm going to pretty much start waxing lyrical about those and pointing out things that I've noticed that other people may or may not have noticed, but probably have. If that makes sense to you, well done, you've been on my channel long enough. Next, I want to talk about the dynamic game systems. Or more, put it another way, this new camp, which is basically bringing the building from Fallout 4 into this new camp system, like mods did in Fallout 4, and building wherever the hell you want. And nuking an area. Yes, the whole nukes. So yeah, dynamic game system. In other words, they've tried to do this, and this is probably one of the reasons why the NPCs aren't in there. It makes it easier for that. build where you want and nuke what you want. And that's probably a lot of work, because even if they've only got 2 or 3 unique styles of wasteland, they're going to have to go, right, if there's buildings in that area, what buildings do we want sticking out of a nuked area? What, So, yeah, if you can nuke any part of the map, that means that they've surely had to do work where they've gone from, right, it's trees normally to a wasteland afterwards. They would have had to design it twice, surely. Yeah. So let's get on to some of the other things that we've learned, like real-time Vats. Yeah, this is in Todd's interview the day after the Bethesda conference. Vats is still in the game. It's real-time. Yes. They intend to keep adding to the game long-term. Okay. And as to the no NPCs I was talking about only, were they human only? In that interview he used the term, every character you see is a real person. Does that mean that we're going to be getting the ability to select our race? Are we going to be able to choose to be a ghoul? How do we explain starting in the vault? Is that part of a tutorial and then you get out and you get affected by radiation and then you can alter your character? It'd be an interesting point to see, because he used the term character as a real person. So unless non-feral ghouls are being removed completely from this game, where are they fitting in? Right. And as for the quests, he confirmed that there will be quests in the game, but it's going to be along the lines of the found world quests that you find in all the previous Fallout games. So yeah, the whole you might find a note on a computer, or you might find a robot and get that to tell you something. Those sort of quests are still in there, so finding an NPC and asking them isn't going to work. So yeah, there's probably going to be few in the way of well-designed story quests, because there's only so many notes or robots that can give you those, and we're probably going to see quite a few Radiant quests which say, you know, go and attack this camp, which isn't raiders, it's actual real people playing as raiders. I don't know. What I will say is that's interesting and not interesting at the same time. So yeah, I mean, how are we going to go about doing that? It's very, very Radiant, isn't it? It's very Radiant, and the problem with that is, unless they've added the Radiant quests per se aren't a problem. Radiant quests where there's only about 3 variations on the theme. Yeah, I mean, come on, write them so that they don't feel like you were doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, we don't want another settlement needs your help again, do we? Or another farm needs to be subjugated, or whatever it is, or another, was it cash needs to be found? Was it cash or transponder or something? The railroad? Can't remember. And as for what the Institute's version was, I haven't got a clue off the top of my head, but you get the idea. So if we're gonna have a lot of Radiant quests bulking this out, we could do with a bit more than just go here, kill that, go here, collect that. You know, write them a little bit smarter. Anyway, lastly from that is he did confirm in this interview that they're working on, what was it? They're working on private servers where you can, you know, just invite whoever and use mods. So it sounds like it's what would be the equivalent of a private Minecraft server. These are the mods we're using. These are the mods you're going to need to make it work. Once you've got those, come along, you can join our server for this particular game. Yeah, so that then begs the question, how many people per server? Is the private server not going to have as many? Because then it has to deal with reading mods as well, and that will slow down reaction time. I mean, they have said that they're not finished ironing the bugs out on that one. So right, I've pretty much listed off the stuff from the Bethesda conference and added the stuff with a little bit of my opinion from Todd Howard's interview the day after. So that leaves us with anything I've noticed in the trailers and so on and so forth, and presentations, and my opinion on what they could be, and see if anyone else has noticed them. Rambling non-swiftly on, yeah, let's just go through the things I noticed. Now, first things first, we see the what was it? The musical band segment. Now, is this like some kind of co-op minigame? Let's all play music together. If so, what does that say for the five-a-side football pitch inside the vault, or five-a-side soccer pitch on that side of the pond? Yeah, does that hint at the ability to play games together in your small groups? And speaking of small groups, the Vault Boy information videos and the gameplay itself never shows co-op in greater than 4. Yeah, there never seems to be more than 4 people together. Now, is that the maximum you can team up cooperatively? If that's so, and you can only have dozens per server, so to speak. Now, my particular theory is, what if it's one group per zone, maybe 6 zones, 4 people. That's 24 that you might encounter. Yeah, 4 of them, 3 of them on your team, because you're one of them. That's me throwing it out there as a theory, as an idea. That's 2 dozen people, isn't it? 24. So it is a dozen, 2 dozen. Maybe you can have 2 teams per zone, which would be 48. Alright, something else I noticed, most people probably did, when you're encountering real people, you get that thing at the bottom where it says you've been attacked by P. Garvey. That's how you're going to tell it's a real person, because when you're just encountering environmental critters and ghouls and all the rest of it, they come up at the top with their level. So yeah, that, you know, real people at the bottom, game enemies at the top. What else? We got the whole emote conversation trading wheel thing. Yeah, everyone pretty much noticed that. There's what else? Oh, the super mutants are back. We're getting another batch of FEV, or are they the Vault 87 mutants? Because they, is it Fallout 3? Weren't they the Vault 87 mutants created straight away, right after the beginning of the war, or the Great War? Whereas on the where is it? The West Coast, the Master is only doing his stuff round about this time in the timeline, so it can't really be mutants from that side. There's that. There's the whole there's the whole Scorched Beast Bat mutant thing that's clearly filling the dragon role. It's yes, that. How can we get people to fight dragons? Well, we're not making an Elder Scrolls at the minute, so let's make a big kind of bat mutant, and then maybe put Mothman in there, and we'll have some. You know, did I only notice level 50 as the highest level displayed? Although I think the actual players had higher than 50 at some point. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, so there's the whole dragons in all but name flying around for us to kill. Then there was the whole photo mode big game hunter routine after you've killed that. That was cutesy. I mean, do you get to keep a picture and put it on your wall? That'd be funny if it allows you to put them inside frames. I want that feature. If we're going to kill something and take silly pictures and take screenshots, give us the option to put them inside the frames and put them on my wall inside my wooden shack. There you go. That's what I want if I'm going to do it. What else? Fusion cores were back. In case anyone noticed. AP, obviously. Action points were back. So special's going to matter there. So it might be a little bit. It might give it a little bit of an old feel. MMO where character traits matter. Not that they matter too much, but yeah, if you've got high levels of is it agility for AP? Off the top of my head, yeah, I think so. It's too early in the morning for this. Yeah, so high agility, you probably get better AP. And as Todd was saying, you can make a character that's good at real-time Vats. So what was Vats? Was Vats perception? Or yeah, either way. Then there's the whole Fallout 4 intelligence garnered. How much? Well, should I say it was in control of how much experience you garnered or gained. So yeah, I can see the specials still working. Now I have seen was it Reddit or was it Facebook? I have seen someone talking about they found and spotted a perk on the screen. Now I've not been able to spot it myself yet, unless it's from something else, but perks would suggest that there are still things out there. Now the question is there, with it all leveling up and everyone living in the same world, how many, what's the word, most of the perks, should most of the perks purely be passive? Can you have a lot of perks that are active? I mean, will that not unbalance the game if too many other people can just out level you? If you're going to be able to encounter everybody, surely to God the weapons should pretty much do themselves, and most of the perks should be passive and give you a passive increase in ability, not a direct action that can make somebody else feel what's the bloody point. There's the whole good argument and all that, but at what point does the game stop balancing itself? Yeah. One interesting thing that I found interesting was the execution of Preston Garvey, P. Garvey, when they showed us that. Now, he was down on his knees and they chose to execute him. Can you give them the option to yield? Can you heal them? We just saw execution. What if you decide to walk off and let them bleed out or heal themselves? Is that an option? Is it an option to stand there berating them down your microphone and saying, I came here to be friendly and I'll let you get back up, but if you double cross me, I'll shoot you in the head? I mean, I want to know these things. Alright, and what else? That's pretty much it. The only other things are, you know, like I've said previously, he didn't use the term single player. At no point did he use the term RPG. We know that there was the whole Starfield is going to probably be the next proper Bethesda style single player RPG, and the Elder Scrolls 6 is on the way, and there's debate upon debate as to where that scenery is showing off. Some people say it's Hammerfell, some say High Rock. I say I don't have a chuffing clue because I've not looked into it properly, and even then it would still be an educated guess, and educated guess and a non-educated guess are still guesses. Educated guesses only really work when you've had lots of stuff to educate yourself with. Yes. So yeah, it's been more of a ramble analysis. I don't have the time to go into it, the details I used to, but if I've spotted anything you haven't spotted, by all means, let me know. If you've spotted something I haven't, by all means, let me know, and I hope to see more. I will say this, I wasn't expecting a full-on New Vegas. I wasn't expecting New Vegas. I don't know why. Someone told me not to expect the full-on story. Personally, I think the next Fallout single-player game shouldn't even have one main story. It shouldn't have one big A story, because it feels like Bethesda try and get every faction in on it, and yeah, well, they did with Fallout 4. They didn't even bother with factions in Fallout 3, but they used the main story to introduce everybody, and you're the sole survivor or lone wanderer, and you meet everybody and influence everybody. I would love to see them do maybe 2 or 3 B stories, big B stories, something similar to Skyrim. You got the Civil War, you got the Dragon War, whatever, but in a Fallout setting, I don't know, a cultural war and a resource war for whatever resources are left, I don't know, something like that. And if maybe even a 3rd B story, and it'd be a personal one, and the factions don't even come into your stories at any point unless you choose them to. Make all the factions separate from each other and make them interact with each other. That sort of thing, and we're not getting that with this game. However, there is one piece of hope for people who want factions and NPCs and stories for this game. If they get the private server modded option up and running like they say they want to do, because they know their fans want this, it will be the ultimate in blank slates, blank canvases. It will be blank slate, blank canvas. There'll be nothing to interfere. You can create factions, you could create NPCs, and imagine the fun. Well, imagine how time consuming, but imagine the fun that good quest and faction mod makers could have with such a huge world, with all the logistics and all the not logistics, the other one, the mechanics, the game mechanics already built in, and all they have to do is come along, build some houses, create some NPCs, and basically create their own faction and quests. If they get private servers and modding in that way done, think of the stories you could be told. Let's Players could have a field day. It could end up being a remarkably unique blank canvas. Never mind things like Beyond Skyrim. You don't even have to recreate a new game. The canvas is there. Just recreate a load of new quests and put it in. That sort of thing. So yeah, ramble over. God knows how long I've ended up going on for. I've listed it off, I've given you a quick opinion, and I've pointed out some things that jumped out at me. I hope I've entertained, and I hope to see you again. I'm not going to bother begging for the likes and all the rest of it. If you aren't interested in all that stuff, you'll do it. So until next time, bye bye for now.